Welcome to the show. You're watching Let's Talk right here on Ebru TV. And let me tell you, this cold weather is not going to stop us, okay? We have decided it doesn't matter what weather is happening and everything. We are still going to be here to spill all the juicy tea and gossip because let me tell you, a lot, and I mean a lot, has happened this week. And we all have been following that story for Professor Hamo. Hey. And let me tell you the developments that have come in about his response to the allegations of being a deadbeat dad. Well, there were a lot, and of course, you know, there have been everyone else's comments about it, so we're going to get into it. I know you already have your comments and what you think about the whole story, so you can go ahead and send us a message on our WhatsApp number, 0777-672-230, and still hit us up on our social media, Ebru TV Kenya everywhere except for Facebook, but today is Wellness Wednesday, so that means we are going to be speaking about money. Is this your chance to go do the money part?
I was doing the beats. You were supposed to do the rest.
You
I was like
smiling.
I was smiling.
You know, you have to do money.
Okay.
But anyway,
again?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay.
Money. So it's all about saving your coin because let me tell you, times are tough and we are not trying to let even one bob go by without it being noticed. So make sure you tune in for that a little bit later. But for now, it's your girl, Ayuma Kaguli.
I am telling you for free. Today I was checking the internet because the internet is a place where all things happen and all fun and good times are always around. So I saw something very, very fascinating. Okay, so I think I'm going to read it because I can. Anyway, according to a news bulletin around our country, there was a post that was written that a woman at the age of 25 gives birth to nonuplets in Morocco, and the local authorities say all 9 babies are okay. So in case you did not catch the nonuplets is 9 children. Like this woman straight up gave birth at the age of 25. She gave birth to 9 children. Hallelujah. Hi. It continues on. Another woman in the UK, actually on a news bulletin as well, admitted to have had 1 pregnancy, and then 3 months later she got pregnant again.
Ooh,
so
I
she
rebuke
got
that in
pregnant
Jesus' name.
while she was pregnant.
I rebuke it.
Y'all, I'm just saying, in the day and age, in this economy, our economy right now, what are you gonna do with that many children? And we come back to the point where, yes, we say that it's important to have children. All these people are always yapping, oh, children this, oh, children that, oh, children this, the other. But 9, immediately you start hearing they've reached number 3. You start considering, but am I so much pro-life or am I pro-choice? Because at this point, I'm about to make a choice because, whoa, Lord, I can't deal with how? I'm just saying, for you women who have given birth out there, I believe in you. But if you had 9 children, would you go through with it? I'm just asking a bold question. Would you go through if you knew for sure you had 9 children? Or did you even know that you could have a pregnancy while being pregnant? Sorry, not 3 months. She was 3 weeks into the pregnancy and then she got pregnant again. So if you're also trying to get someone, you're pregnant. You might just get pregnant again. My name is Katomi. Welcome to the show, and that was my food for thought.
Oh, well, 3 children are definitely enough for me. I don't want 9 children. I don't want 4, 5, or 6. But anyway, it's Wellness Wednesday, and I'm your girl, Lily Asigo with a double L. But it's also Health Awareness Month. So my question is, how is your mental health? Let us know on 0777-672-230. And I want to know how your weekend was, because for me, I reunited with my brother, who went to the United States 5 years ago. He went single, but came back with a beautiful wife and a beautiful son. At least they have 1 and not 9. Anyway, curfew was pushed from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Hallelujah.
And you know, most of us were like, hey, I'm going to party, I'm going to travel, I'm going to do all this nice stuff. But guess what? Are you even thinking about your mental wellness? Do you even have the money? Or you want to spend all your money and travel around, have the most, have a nice experience, and then come back on social media and tell us, oh yeah, guys, please nichangieni, I can't pay this or that. Guys, let's be careful and let's be cautious. Welcome to the show. My name is definitely Lily Asigo. How was your weekend, ladies?
Mine was good. I hung out with my mom and my sisters. My mom, once the lockdown was lifted like this, it was on Saturday. She was like, I am booking my ticket. I am going back home. So like, I literally had to rush home to hang out with her for the weekend.
Okay, my weekend was such a blur. Honestly, I don't even know what really happened. And it was such a blur to the point of, you know, I don't really cook during the weekends, yeah? I'm one of those people who just like, there's either food over or we're having takeout during weekends. But it was Saturday and I cooked. Wow. So the next day on Sunday is when I'm wondering, hey, what happened? Did I cook on Saturday? What? Anyway, that was that much. It was just a blur. Honestly, I don't even know what I did. I can't even lie.
Yeah, and today's hot tea.
Yeah,
today's tea is hot. Ni moto fire. We have Professor Hamo and Jamutai Saga, and he had something to say about that. And we also have Bill, who is 65, and Melinda, who is 56 years old, getting a divorce. Oh my Lord. And we have Kamene on men calling women materialistic. Like, if you cannot afford them, stay away from expensive women. Stick to your lane. Anyway, all these and more on Hot Talk. Hey, last week we spoke about Professor Hamo and Jamutai Saga washing their dirty linen in public. I'm telling you. Now, Professor Hamo had something to say about the whole thing. He clarified a few things, and he said, I know a lot is being talked about around, and I'd wish to state the following to give my fans some clarity. Number one, I have children who live with me and others who don't live with me. I have been providing for my children from day one, and there is no day they went without food or shelter or anything they need. My wife is the one who sends upkeep for the children who don't live with us. He's not even acknowledging Jamutai as his wife.
Yeah.
Like the other children who don't live with us. This has been the agreement between my family and the mother of my children. Number two, I believe children deserve a quiet, growing atmosphere, and it's inhuman to expose them to ridicule from their friends in school and elsewhere by splashing their photos or stories online. My goodness. Number three, sometimes people can get frustrated when they are not able to get everything they wanted. I don't know if he's referring to Jamutai. Especially when unseen challenges arise. I have always been a present father for my children, and I'll continue to work hard and take care of them. I'm currently lost for words because I don't understand where all this is coming from. I pray for peace and wisdom to reign, and above all, peace of mind from my innocent children now and in the future. So he's planning on having more children, which is fine. But Jamutai sat down and she was like, Ujama tunazoeana kidogo kidogo, and she clapped back. She said, it's on a Sunday, for heaven's sake. Why are we lying this early? It's barely 10. Kindly, excuse my English, I'm typing with a lot of anger. First and foremost, the last time Hamo paid the rent was last year, October. And from then, he refused to pick the caretaker's call. Number two, I respect Mama Melissa. That's the other wife, yeah? I respect Mama Melissa so much, but since you've decided we drag her into this, the only money Mama Melissa has sent me is 9,000 shillings in total.
Wow.
First time 2K, second time 2K, and then when they didn't have money for food, and now 5K, alituma juzi when everything was out in the public. The last time Hamo aliona watoto, that is Jeremy and Kylie, was in October last year. Before we moved out he's only appeared in my house 4 times, all at night. Earliest was at 10 a.m. and last month he appeared at 2 a.m. All the times he comes drunk as well. Watoto wagani uku awake at 2 in the morning. Anauliza. The man shows up bila hata maziwa. The only time he came with something was the last visit. Alikuja akaleta only 2 Oreos. Those are biscuits. Hamo, kindly note that I am withholding so much from the public, including the day you are violent.
Ooh.
I have all the recording of you apologizing to, I don't know, I can't pronounce that name. Accept you have failed as a father and you are ready to better. Sio hizo mauongo. And then she clicks. Mwah. Hey, this story is just confusing. At least we've heard from both sides of the story. Now we know that Jamutai is claiming that Professor Hamo wasn't paying rent, he wasn't there for the children, and Professor Hamo is like, I'm not a deadbeat, we normally send cash. So my question is it because you know that this person can afford to send 20K to me, and they're sending 2K? Or is it because you had a fallout and now you're like, hey, you need to send me money, 2K is nothing? Because if the amount of money that I have is 2,000 shillings and I send the 2K to you, please appreciate as a mother, if that's the amount that you can afford. Because when you're dating someone, you know the amount of money they can afford. And let's also not forget that Corona happened. So for me, I am not taking sides, because both of them are just failing. How can you just put everything on in public like that? It's not fair for the kids. It's not even fair for yourselves, because now the relationship that they're going to have moving forward is going to be compromised. How will they now start calling each other? And you know what? Churchill was like, hey, people, come here. We've had a long, cordial talk with Hamo and Jamutai and agreed to deal with the matter privately and find an amicable solution. In the end, the kids have to win. Have a blessed Sunday. So last Sunday was a really long day for everyone, because their story was all over the place. You don't know who's telling the truth and who is lying. So all I can say, you're innocent until proven guilty. This, whatever they're airing out here, me, I'm not for it. Go privately, solve your issues privately, because people are going to judge you. You can't be posting that you're getting endorsements, you're going here and there, you're traveling, and then you come and say, woo, I didn't pay rent.
Let me tell you,
I don't know.
Me, I am picking sides, because I think you can do things privately until it reaches a point where it's too much. October, November, December, January, February, March. Now we're in April. That's 7 months almost.
We're in May.
Sorry, April. Now, May is like, so let's just say 7 months, yeah? 7 months have passed. And I'm sure during these 7 months, she's saying, we need money, we need money, we need money, we need money. Because that's the time where now he disappeared off the face of the earth. And even before...
Allow me to cut you short. What makes you think, or is it because you're a woman, that's why you're taking Jamutai's side? No. How do you know she's telling the truth?
Yeah, because the detail that she's
giving... How
giving...
do we know that Hamo is telling the truth, the whole truth? So for me, I said I won't pick sides, because just because I'm a woman, it doesn't mean that I'm going to pick Jamutai's side. And just because someone else is a man, now they pick Hamo's side. No.
You've been touched by the Lord, and we say hallelujah, amen. Even me, I pray that the Lord will touch me as well. But as a human right now, I am picking sides, and I'm on Jamutai's side, and I believe her, and I think that she's saying the truth. And let's be all the way honest, 7 months, and someone has given you 9,000 and has the nerve to tell you, I've given you 9,000. Are you serious right now? And if you separate, spread it out, 2K, 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 and you have 2 children, even in this economy, how are you going to feed children within 7 months with 2,000 and with 9K? If you spread it all out, people are hungry.
What if that's the amount that he can afford?
Yeah, I don't think that's the amount he can afford, because when they were having when she had money, he was very happy to take her
50K.
money. Exactly, 50K. So you what to go and pay for the children's stuff, even him to pay for his stuff. He should have been like, exactly taking vacations
shop for
and
the
trips.
wife.
Exactly.
To take the children to shopping. To take the children to shopping so that they can be able to go to school. To pay for their enrollment for school fees. To buy them school fees and shoes and what. And to put them in a boarding school that was out of their budget. A new school, because the children deserve the best.
Yes.
And yet our children
Corona
are starving.
happened.
Forget that.
No.
And then the children are starving at home.
If he did not take his responsibilities from the word go, then that's a problem.
Clearly he hasn't.
He hasn't been. It's just that she had money. No, he hasn't taken his responsibility from the go. It's just that in that point, she was exactly. She had money.
Take care of everyone, including this wife that is now being sent that 50,000 because she's about to give birth. The same woman who is sending her 2,000 shillings, or she's telling them she's dying of hunger, is the same woman who was given 50,000 shillings allegedly by this woman who she's sending 2,000 to. A woman with 2 children. You tell me, even you as an individual, 2K in a day.
Well, I have
3 children. You know, like it comes and goes. You don't know what you do with that money, but it's gone in a day.
Yeah, and it's good that we're going to talk about financial wellness later on in the show, because some people, it gets to a point where life hits you so hard that you don't have this money. Remember,
then talk about it. Don't disappear and come to my house drunk.
Yeah, but now you see,
let's have an actual communication about how much
Luckily,
money are you making now that we're in Corona?
Luckily,
now that we're going through trouble, how much money are we making? So that now we can be able to split it between the 2 households.
And it takes maturity.
Fact, he says
so both of them are not mature enough. That's my take.
That's the worst part, I think, for me. He says, that what did he said something so stupid I laughed. Apparently, he's a good man. He takes care of his families. He makes sure that his wife is the one dispersing the money. Are you making sure that your wife is actually dispersing enough money to this family, right? He's been having job upon job upon job. Fine, you are not very good at managing the money to begin with, but what are you doing now? You're a father of many children.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't just say he has 2 households. He says he has children from his first family and then other children. So there could be other children who are being taken care of in the background. We don't know about that.
Yeah.
We just don't know whether there's another woman somewhere silently crying and hoping that she's getting that 2K every month. That's very unfair.
It's not every month.
Okay. Every so often
Yeah.
when she's touched by the power of the Lord. But here's the worst part. Yes, I agree with both of them. And in this case, I sympathize with Jamutai for real, I sympathize with her. But the person who I am most concerned about is the children. It is true that these kinds of negativity and these kinds of things being spewed in the public can affect the children so much. As in, you're going to school, you've always, kids don't like to show that they're broke. A kid, you'll give them an apple to go to school and you're like, this is you for lunch. And the kid will just go to school and they're like, yeah, my mom is putting us on a diet. Like, they'll make something up to make themselves look okay, like nothing's going on. They always have a silver lining, somehow they find it, yeah? But now the problem is they've aired all this dirty linen in public, and then the children have to go through this. It's not like people don't know their parents. People know their parents. They do go to school together. So in all honesty, these children are now going through the point of, it affects the children in ways that you can't understand. These are the same children who will grow up and they will know that this is normal. When you have problems with someone, you splash it on social media. These are the problems that I have. How you teach your children to cope with problems, how you teach your children to cope with situations as they come, is definitely going to be subconsciously what you do. What you do on a normal day is what your child is going to absorb, and that is what is going to be the norm. And that is my problem. For the sake of the children, please, the both of you and everyone else involved, just sit down, come up with a budget, come up with a situation where everyone feels okay. There is a thing called child support. Please, let's just use these things. There are tools that are put in place to make sure that your children are not suffering at the end of the day. And speaking of suffering, I am done with this suffering. And I am getting into the money. So, in case you do not know Bill Gates, look at any computer, you will know Bill Gates. He is one of the founders of Microsoft, and he has been such a big charity man. As in, this guy loves charity so much, and he loves to give his money so much that during the Corona period, do you know he gave away $50 million US just to cater for people to figure out the vaccine? How amazing is that? But here's the funny thing. He also said that most of his money, when he dies, upon his death, shall go to charity. And his reasoning was, my children are not supposed to learn how to fend through me. They're supposed to learn how to fend for themselves, make their own money, be independent financially, and therefore the money that I make doesn't belong to them. It needs to go to someone who's less fortunate. But here's the question. We saw Jeff Bezos gives you millions and millions and millions US dollars to his ex-wife when they broke up.
It was billions.
Now, billions of money.
Billions.
And some part of Amazon when they broke up. Now, Bill Gates has officially ended it. They've called it quits along with his wife, Melissa Gates. And they've decided, what?
Melinda.
Melinda Gates and Bill Gates are officially separated, and now we want to know where the money is going to go. That's question number 1. And guess what? This guy is worth 145.1 billion US dollars. I must add billions, add 2 zeros. That's where we are at. As in billion USD, ongeza 2 zeros to estimate how much it is in Kenyan African money, because it's a lot of dollars. But here is the issue. They've broken up at such an old age. As Nani Lily said, Bill Gates is now 65 years old, and Mel is now 56 years old. They've been married for 27 years. This is a long time for you to know whether you like this person enough to suffer through the whole marriage until they die, or you are just done with them. I can imagine their working relationship can be very difficult. He's always busy. He's always working. You know, these kinds of men who make this much money are always invested. Like, their priority is often always their business. So you always come a little bit on the second. And that's kind of sad. So maybe she was tired of it and she was over it. And then she's like, you know what? This is an amicable breakup. They even posted very long briefings on their social media, which is pretty much the same message, copy-pasted. You can see it there. They're saying after years of consideration and blah, 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 we've decided to end this relationship. Please let us be able to handle this privately, which is an amazing thing and is what Hamo and his wife should be doing. And his other wife, you should learn that this is how you do PR, right? The right way to do it, not doing all your nonsense and then calling Churchill at the end of the day. I'm just saying. Anyway, this is the thing that ticked me off now. You know, he's single. And I just told you he is worth a couple billion USD. So all the women out here shooting shots.
Hey.
Are you my included?
Hey.
She slid in the DMs very fast. Very fast.
Not
she was
yet,
in the DMs.
but I have
She's over
contemplated
there
it.
looking for email addresses so that she can be able to email him because he's a businessman. Of course, he's going to read his emails. I'm just dead. Anyway, so a lot of women are out here shooting shots. And those quick videos of memes and stuff of people talking all kinds of nonsense. And there's this one woman who killed me. So she summarized her story in this. They've gone out to dinner, right? They're sitting down. And then a bill comes up. And then she's like, oh my God, is this all my student loans having been paid? Imagine all your health loans. Hey, Bill Gates did me. And then she's like, you know, African women, we don't like our hair being touched. She's like, oh, you want to touch my hair? Honey, it don't work like that. And then he says, oh, you're going to pay for it? Okay, you can touch my hair as long as there's a check at the end of that touching. She continues on to say that for the right price, you can touch anything, boo-boo. And then she says, you know what I like? I love very long walks, but long walks to the bank. I love this woman. What would you do if you had a chance to shoot your shot with Bill Gates? I just want to know from you. 0777-672-230. If you could shoot your shot, and Bill Gates is out here like, what's her name? Tiffany Haddish, and she's saying, send your messages, send your videos, telling her why you think you can date her and you can make her happy. If you had that chance, how would you shoot your shot? That is a question we're going to be playing later on in the day when we're doing the game. But for now, let me know, how would you shoot your shot to Bill Gates? Because it's a lot of dollars.
Well, what I've learned from Bill Gates and the wife is that a marriage is not about finances. You can be rich, but you still get divorced. And age is nothing but a number. You can still find love at 65 years old.
But isn't it easier to find love when you're a man?
That's all.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, when a man is a lot easier. But like, you know, I was having a conversation with someone and they're just like, I surely. These people, how old again? At 65 and 56. See, at that point, you've been with each other for 27 years. You know, and then like you can live your life. I live my life. Everyone does whatever they want to do. At this point, we're just roommates in the house. I'm sure you don't even have to be roommates. You have another home somewhere over there. He has another home somewhere over there. You come together for the holidays with the kids and everything, and life goes on. Why do you have to get divorced? I'm just like, and that is that African mentality that keeps us in horrible relationships just because we are comfortable. What's the reason? You're old. What's the point of going? Let me tell you, 0777-672-230 is the WhatsApp number. I want to hear from you. Number one, as Katomi said, how would you shoot your shot to Bill and Melinda? Because even though she's going to have a couple billions herself. And if you were them, would you get a divorce at 56 and 65? I'm a Munakatu. It's okay. Nisawa. But you know what? Talking about relationships, we have Kamenegoro, who is facing a little bit of heat after she made a statement about how men should date women they can afford instead of calling the women materialistic, okay? Now, she actually went ahead on her show where she said basically the whole essence about this is for people to stay on their lane. If I can be able to go to Kempinski, we shall go and I pay. Do not think I am disrespecting you as a man. So according to Kamene, basically go after women who you can maintain. You know, if you know her standards are at this level over here, then you can meet her at that level. Don't go after people who are way above you, way higher than you. And then afterwards you start complaining at Tiwa, she's materialistic, she's a gold digger, she's only there for the money, blah, blah, blah. And I like what she said, how if I can pay for it, I'm not disrespecting you as a man. And I think that's where I agree with her. Because so many women, not necessarily that you're not willing to go date someone who has less money than you, but men feel really like inferior when you start spending that money and they can't afford to be able to do the same for you. You know what I mean? And me, myself, like if I can be able to take myself to an expensive restaurant or an expensive hotel, I should be able to have the comfort to be able to do that, and you be secure in yourself as a man. You can take me to whichever place you can do but don't feel inferior just because I can afford myself.
Girl, that one touched me a little bit. Let me paint a picture to you, darling. So, it's your birthday, right? I have invited all your friends and family. I have taken you to Kempinski for an all-reserved dinner table with like 10 of your friends and family and some of my friends. We've spent that much money. If you start counting the dollars per meal, it will probably be what, 3,000 shillings, 4,000. Let's go with 5K on the high side. So it's been 5,000 because you've included like a drink or two there, right? 5K, and these are 10 people. They've all come. We've had a ball. It's an amazing birthday party. Oh my God, thank you so much for the birthday party. Boom, boom, boom. It's his birthday now. I want to know from you, honestly, do you think you would feel the same? Because there is that pressure, and I'm talking from a man's perspective here. There is that added pressure when, regardless of gender, there is that added pressure when you can't beat what they've done for you, right? When they're taking you to Kempinski and paying, the next time you want to go like, okay, let's go out on a date, but why am I taking you to a kibandaski? You know, it
But
becomes,
if she really loves you, then she'll go to that kibanda
let
with
me
you.
finish. It's not about the love. It's about the time in which you'll be able to, how many times will you be able to do this? Because, okay, every time you take us out, you take us to Kempinski. Every time I take us out, I take us to a kibandaski. You get, it becomes a whole thing of, you start feeling like, okay, you're not doing enough. Should I make more money? And then it becomes a lot of pressure. And then it brings a strain into the relationship. So I completely understand it when she says that, yes, you should be able to do yourself. And then he should be able to now come in and be okay with it. But there is added pressure. And let me know if I'm wrong, because I feel like this is a genuine problem. Sometimes it's not about you not wanting to be with them. Sometimes it's just about like, how long can I be with them and sustain this lifestyle, you know? Okay, so she comes to your house, you live in Runda. And then you, no offense, you live in some place somewhere with a name so long people can't pronounce because it's in the middle of nowhere. And honestly, you have, no offense, again, this is, I'm not picking sides, I'm not saying that these are bad things, I'm just comparing lives. So she lives in Runda in a 5-bedroom house with a chauffeur, everything done, right? She has a maid and a live-in chef and all of that, right? And you, on the other hand, live in a single room with your gas over there, and you don't even have a fridge and everything. Kama ni kukula chakula mtapika ya leo na kesho asubuhi lazima maleze chakula, because guess what? It's gonna go bad. There ain't no fridge. I'm just saying.
Then if you know you feel bad, then stay in your lane.
It's not that
if you know you're gonna feel bad,
you don't always feel bad at the get-go. It piles up and up and up. It just becomes a problem. So here's the thing. It's not about you being unable to match up with her because she's, let's just rule out the fact that materialistic is not the word. Honey, child. Women, as we've said many times, date a woman who you can afford. But in cases where people are actually in love and they're okay being with these people, there does come some point when there's a little bit of pressure and a little bit of friction, because how are you matching up with this
And
lifestyle?
to avoid all this, my take is that date someone who's mature enough, and you won't have this back and forth nonsense. If you're dating someone who is mtoto, you're gonna have easy back and forth. For me, it's just disgusting. It is utoto. You can date someone you can afford. Love doesn't choose. You can fall in love with whoever, whether they have money or not. But you know what? We're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, Kathomi is gonna tell us what's happening. So don't go anywhere. Back, you're still watching Let's Talk right here on Ebru TV. I'm going to sample a few of your feedback. Hi, I'm loving this show. We have Manuel from Embakasi. Mama Stacy, we see you. Hey, ladies, today's topic is heated up. On this, Ayuma and Kathomi, I'm with you all the way. Nemo from Nyeri says that. Abby is watching from Kayole. Looking good, Lily, my role model. Thank you. Hey, ladies, Caro from Ongwaro. I love you people. Ayuma, always the real one, girl. I'd take your advice any day. If he doesn't give you his time when you need it, push him to the curb. Don't compromise your happiness for someone else's ambitions. 27 years is a lot to wait for someone's attention.
Amen.
So happiness first. On the case of Jamutai and Professor Hamo, I'm on team Ayuma and Kathomi, but they should not feud publicly because there is a third party involved, and that is the kids. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'm literally burning on this hot tea. And then there's at least one person who is agreeing with me. I agree with Lily on Kamene's story. It's immature to define a relationship with economic status.
I tell you, verily, verily, I tell you. But hey, you know what? We have so much more to tell you. We have so much more advice to give you. So let's get right into it. It's time for Ask the Girls. We're on time. Many times you can slide into our DMs. You can slide into Ebru Let's Talk _officials DMs, or you can slide into Ebru TV Kenya's DMs anywhere, and we shall be able to receive your questions and use them here and help you. We will help you help us help you. You know what I mean? Anyway, I have someone by the name of Mary Njoroge, and she says this. Hi girls, advice on this. I am 22 and have been dating this guy since 2019. Then we broke up in 2020 after I thought I had found someone better in campus. But it didn't work out, and I realized I didn't love the guy that I was with in school. So when I came back home for the holidays, I reached out to my ex, who we are still in touch with, and asked him if we could start over. To cut the long story short, we still meet up, we still talk. He's my best friend, actually, the only ex I talk to. The things didn't work out because I had broken his heart. Funny thing is, he isn't dating, and it's like we're dating. Okay, I don't know, because there are some times when he'll even call me pet names, like the honeys and everything. I want him back, literally. I mean, like really, but he has told me before that he can't bring himself to like dating me again. But he still talks to me, and we are dating even, we're dating, even make out once in a while. Okay, girl. Anyway, what advice would you give me? Because he isn't seeing anyone, and he still says that he loves me. Please, advice. Okay. So, let us start from the very beginning. You guys are friends, great. It's amazing that you guys have a friendship. And oftentimes the best relationships are the ones that you form during friendships. But sometimes the friendship can be way more than the romance. And therefore, it kind of breaks that situation. You feel like you're more friends than you are lovers. So it becomes more like a friend zone situation than it is, more friend zone than it is an actual relationship. And I get that. You decided that, you know, it's time for me to actually go out and try and find love somewhere else. Amazing. But the problem is you can't now come back and try and convince someone who you broke up with, like you made the decision to break up with them. You can't now come back and tell them, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I realize I love you, blah, blah, blah. It can go one of two ways, and we've said this many times. There are consequences for every action. For every action, there is a reaction. And the problem is he's now not in a position to put himself in that position because he doesn't know how it's going to go down. What if you get bored again? What if you meet someone else who's nice and everything? But the problem again is you guys are blurring the lines so much that it now, you don't know how to react most of the time. And also, trust me, he also probably doesn't know how to react, or he's taking advantage of the situation up until he meets someone else. So I think for now, keep the lines very clean and clear, and then you will know. If you ask him one more time, once the lines are clear, like you're not making out, you guys aren't going on dates every so often, like you're just being friends, and then act that way and ask him and he still says no, the answer is going to be no. You should try again, but once you are just friends, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. My dear Mary had a little lamb. I think you need to leave this boy alone because he has already told you, and he has told you multiple times that he's not willing to go back in a relationship with you. Like literally we have somebody telling you to your face, I'm not willing to go back in a relationship with you. I don't want us to get back together. And then you're doing everything that a relationship would do. You're still there making out, you're still there talking, you're still going on dates. You're basically in a relationship, but he's not willing to claim you. Leave him alone because he has told you. I think once you pull back, okay, and you stop, I know you, like once you have your first love and you're saying, he's my best friend and everything, girl, you can make other friends, okay? There's plenty of other people out there that can be your best friend. I don't think you can continue the friendship part from afar and just leave him alone completely and stop the romantic relationship. If he really loves you, wants to get back with you, he'll tell you that and say, I want you to be my girlfriend. Leave him alone and see what happens. Because let me tell you, I think you might be shocked once you leave him alone and he's not there busy calling you back and trying to hang out and trying to make sure that he wants you. You know, like when you leave somebody who really wants you and they come back asking for more and everything, leave him and you'll find your true answer.
If you love someone, let them go. Go where and do what? You're letting them go where? If you love someone, make it work. Like you gave him enough space to move on.
Lakini, he doesn't want you.
But I think she's the one who broke up with him.
Yeah.
So if you love someone, make it work. Don't give them enough space for them to move on, because I'm thinking that he's having his cake and eating it. He has a girlfriend, but he's still entertaining you. And you know what? It's time to dive straight onto today's topic, which we're going to talk about financial wellness, build, and savings for beginners. At what age did you start saving, ladies? Are you
I still
even
ain't saving.
saving?
I know that's the thing. Am I
But,
saving right now?
I know, right?
It was my 2021 resolution to save, but we are still in the process of planning on saving. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
me, I
with
was
you.
saving before Corona, but right now, is there any money to save?
There's nothing left over.
There is nothing. So how do you plan on saving and spending your money? For me, I think you need to organize yourself and open a bank account and start having a budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kathomi?
I honestly think let's get into Wellness Wednesday, y'all.
Ladies, we're on top. Hey, we're on top. Hey.
Anyway, so as Lily was very briefly explaining how exactly to get into a budget, I was looking at myself and wondering, Lily, what do you mean by budget? What does a budget mean? How do I even start? I only earn like 40 bob, or I make money and it's not that much money, you know. So where do I begin? Please tell
You
me.
just look at your expenses and plan better. Like, I'm spending this amount of money making my hair. I'm spending this amount of money going for a massage or a holiday, and just come up with a budget that works. Come up with a plan, in other words. So if you feel like you're spending more on X and you're spending less on Y, and Y is more important, here's where priorities come in.
Right.
As you're making your budget, you need to prioritize and have your priorities as the first, ukiendelea hivyo chini. Yeah, so once you do that, it's gonna help you.
Yeah, I agree. Because like a lot of times when you look at your budget and everything, even when you say you're earning that 1,000 bob, you'll find yourself going for smokies. You know what I mean? Buying smokies over there and trying to get a little bit of extra money, using that extra money to do that. There's small little frivolous things that you know you don't need and you can cut down on, and you can actually now save. And I remember, like, if you go, like, let me tell you right now, Pinterest is your best friend, okay? And you just search for a budget. It'll show you so many different markups and everything where you can now input your stuff and everything, and how you can say now, this is for expenses, this is for bills, this is for luxuries. There's also miscellaneous, because life happens, you know, there might be a funeral, there might be whatever, anything can happen, and you need something for that specific thing. You literally need to print it out. And I'm a writing down person. Miss Digital over here always just wants to do it on her phone. But let me tell you, there's something about writing it down and being like, wow, so I spent 2,000 on this. Guy. I spent 100 bob on this. Why? I did it, like all of that. You literally need to go and download a whole budget over there. And you can type it or write it down, but it'll really help you.
Okay, I honestly was very impressed at the beginning of the year when Ayuma did. She
I
even got
did.
that. She printed out all those, and I saw that on your list there was a segment where it was like your expenditure. So like shopping, this is how much I use. This is how much I use for electricity and like the bills that I have. This is how much I'm saving at the end of the day, or this is how much I have left at the end of the day. And then do I carry it forward to the next month, or do I plan on saving it? And that honestly is a really good plan. And there are so many, let's go digital, there are so many apps which you can use for this, including the one that we use. All of us use it. It is the one that we call everyone with. I don't want to mention names, but they have a new app now that actually helps you prioritize everything, right? It will track your spending, and it will show you how much money you send to where. And then now you can go to those amounts of money, and then you're like, okay, this, I actually spent it under bills. So this was the bill that I was paying, and this was just me doing entertainment, and this was this and this. And you break it down, and now you can actually have like a nice little spreadsheet that shows you how many, like, you know, you have those recurring bills.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at every beginning of the month, like some of us, some of us who actually go on a monthly basis as opposed to every week, I'm not pointing fingers. So some of us who actually go to the salon on a monthly basis, you actually know how much you spend on a monthly basis for your salon. So if you put it under your bills, then you can be able to see, okay, the next month I need 2,000 shillings for my hair, or I need 500 shillings for my hair. Okay, what do I do next? I do my nails. How much do my nails cost? I need that 1,000 to go and do my nails. Okay, I usually buy clothes. So these become bills. So these are never going to change. They're just there consistently, and you use them every single month. So if you actually know what you spend when, then I think it will be easier for you to be able to now figure out, oh, this is where I'm overspending. Oh, this is where I'm underspending. Oh, this is where some money can be saved. So I feel like that is a very important thing thing, maybe, yeah, Lily is right. You should really prioritize and then split them up into your priorities, your frivolousness, your miscellaneous ones, and your entertainment. Factor in entertainment, because we all know that's where all the money goes anyway.
Yeah, and I do have a tiny list of the advantages of having a budget, which is you're less likely to end up in debt. You are less likely to get caught out by an expected costs, more likely to have a good credit rating, more likely to be accepted for a mortgage or a loan, because at least you have it, you have the record. You'll be able to spot areas where you can make savings. And for me, I prefer using, I don't normally work with cash because you can't account.
Yeah.
But I like paying via my phone, or I swipe my card, because I feel like you can now sit down and check your bills. Once you have the receipts, you keep the receipts. If you don't have the receipts, you keep the messages on your phone, and then you check on them once in a while.
Yeah, and I also saw, like, for people who actually do cash and everything, you can be really disciplined with it, yeah? And you withdraw all your money and you keep money envelopes. And literally, so you've already made your budget, yeah? So then now you go, like, over here for transport. You know, for the whole month, you're going to spend 5,000. You only have 5,000 in that envelope. You have this much in this envelope, and then you keep everything else and everything. And literally, once the money finishes, then you can be like, uh-oh. So this is here, this is what I was, like, you know, sometimes when you see the money physically and it disappearing, but like it's all in a specific envelope and everything, it kind of helps, just for the people who still like using money over there. Like I was seeing, like, just check money envelopes online, it'll really help you out.
Oh, yeah, so something I'm starting this month. Anyway, so I've started doing almost the same thing, but in this case, it's not particularly money envelopes. It's just putting that money. So, because you know, most of the time your money comes to your bank, right?
Yeah.
So you withdraw a very specific amount of money to spend during that week. Like you already know this is the amount of money that I'm going to be spending every single week. So it doesn't matter, because me, I'll always scheme off the top. So if say I decide I'm going to be using 1,000 shillings a week, I know if I've spent 1,000 shillings, I check my messages and I see, wow, I don't have 1,000 shillings, I'm done. That's it. Like I'm not doing anything else for that week.
Yeah.
If it's partying, if it's buying things, I am done for that week. And then the next week, now you can get into it and you're like, by the last week, nilitumia pesa ikafika Wednesday, I had no more money. So you're like, okay, so this week I'm going to try and get it to Thursday, or I'm going to try and get it to Friday. Like that, I think also helps, because you're literally forcing yourself to be able to remain in a certain lifestyle or budget, such that even if anything changes in your life, you know that this money you have consistently is the money that you spend consistently, and you still have some that is left out. Yeah.
Exactly.
In this particular budget, you've already decided this is the money I'm going to spend for the rest of the month, and then this is what I'll have left out. And if you don't have this left out, then you did something wrong here.
Yeah, and another way to force yourself into doing that is put the remainder money, before you even start spending money, into a savings account. I have to force myself to do something like that. Like literally, this money is going here. Even if today, I don't know what happens, I only have this much money, and I can now be really frugal on how I'm going to spend my money. So I think definitely having a savings account, having a fixed account, which you can't touch until a certain amount of time, can really help you, especially with your savings.
Yeah, but I have come to the realization that sometimes savings doesn't necessarily give you the best impact. Yeah. So for example, you would put your money in your savings. I think if I was an entrepreneur like Lily over here with her beauty products, I would then put this money into the business, right? Yeah. So this is the money I have left over. Say it's 10,000, 5,000. I will take that money and I will put it back in the business. Yeah. Now the money that I get as profit is also now put somewhere else. Like you keep reinvesting it in your business.
But in the beginning of the month, before you even get a chance to spend, like, you know what I mean? Like in the beginning, before you even get a chance to spend it frivolously.
You need to be disciplined.
No, but like, see, here's the problem. We're working from a position of pleasure, right? We can't be operating from a pleasure principle all the time. When you do that, yes, you are trying to make yourself fit in a certain budget, but at the same time, are you training your mind to know that this is the limit? As opposed to forcing yourself into a limit, you need to get to a point where it's more natural, you know, like you're spending money, but you know there is a point. Even you, when you go out, you're like, wait. ebungoja, nimefanya. And then you see those people who usually take a calculator. You need to become one of those people. I remember we used to have a co-host over here, Washeke, and she used to do that. Like every single time, you would see her with a calculator. Ati, we're going out for coffee. Okay, y'all.
And she's like, that wasn't in the budget.
Like, hold on. And then she'll do her calculation. She's like, I can't go for coffee today. Let's do it next week. Like she was so meticulous with what she did. So as opposed to coming from a point of, okay, I don't have money, so let me not spend it. It needs to be a point of you have money, you're just choosing not to spend it or choosing to spend it better.
I agree with you. You need to be flexible because life is unpredictable. Today you might get a pay rise, tomorrow you might be fired, the next day just the bills will just shoot up. So we need to also be flexible, and when you realize that maybe bills are piling up or maybe you've been added some money, then you'll be able to adjust accordingly.
Or work with percentages as opposed to working with a particular amount. Work with a percentage such that even if you had, let's speak about big money because that's what we're trying to get. So if you have your 100K and then you say that you're going to spend 10% of that amount of money on food, 20% on bills, 30% on blah, blah, blah. You keep it at percentages such that it doesn't matter, even if you hike up to $1 million, you know that the only amount you're used to paying for your bills is that 30%, right? I think so.
I don't know, man. Let us know your thoughts. What have you been able to do when it comes to saving? How else can you help the rest of the Let's Talk family? Because it gets really complicated and we're always happy to get your advice. But right now, let's get right into game time. So the game we're going to be playing is Punchline. And as Kathomi had hinted at earlier, if this was your chance and you're single, and even Bill Gates was over there ready to be with you, he's sitting right there next to you, and you know he's freshly single, what line would you give him in order to make him in gearbox? You know, what is that line that you're able to tell him as a woman? And even the men, you can go ahead and let us know, but as we're going from a woman's point of view, because many times we're used to getting hit on. But now we have to go and hit on him, and I want to start with you.
Girl. Anyway, so I'm all about the compliments. I like giving a man a compliment because even me, when I get a compliment, I'm more... So I'm hoping that even if I shoot my shot and I've complimented him, then he's going to be like, you know, a little bit of bass there. So I would go with... Okay. Anyway, let me read it for you because child is crazy. Okay. So I would go with, in my honest opinion, how does it feel to be the most handsome man in the room? In your honest opinion, how does it feel to be the most handsome man in the room?
And me, I would go like, I think I'm lost. Can you give me directions to your heart?
Girl.
Me, like, I have to do the thing for, like, I know we have our cameraman. Yes, I like that, yes. Mine would have to be, like, as a joke first, yeah? And then afterwards, you laugh about it. You know, so I'll just be like, start printing out those missing persons posters. I'm going to have you tied up in my room for a long time.
Ooh,
and then to add on to it, you guys both laugh, yeah? And then now I like slide over, yeah? And I'm just like, you have to add a touch to it also.
To seal the deal.
To seal the deal. But you really might be tied up in my
live on TV? Oh my God. It's been an amazing show. Thank you so much for watching. And all I have to say is if you're spending more than you're getting, then it's time to cut back. What have you learned from our conversation about finances? Let us know. Our line is always open, 0777-672-230. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms at Ebru TV Kenya, but on Facebook at Ebru TV KE. I have had a fantastic time with you guys. My name is Lily Asigo. Find me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm not on the Twitter streets at Lily Asigo.
Yes, and let me tell you, money is so important, and it's so important to be financially stable and independent. And let me tell you, Google is your best friend, all right? You can find so much information over there. Do your research on the best method that works for you. But for now, it's your girl, Ayuma Kagui.
I think, in all honesty, we need to get to a point where we know we have so many options. Like, you have so much information that you have options, right? For example, would you rather invest with a SACCO or would you rather invest with a bank? Would you rather get a loan from a SACCO or would you rather get a loan from a bank? There are repercussions, there are advantages and disadvantages to both. So you need to be informed so much so that when you're making this decision, it's a conscious decision, right? Anyway, make your money, spend your money, save some money, invest some money, so that at the end of the day, we all look this glamorous. Hallelujah.
Amen.
My name is Kathomi. Make sure you catch me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, but mostly on Instagram. Like the rest, mostly on Instagram.
Yeah, so let's meet same time, same place tomorrow. Good night.